Hello, I'm Brad Stubbe, Sheriff of Manatee County. Welcome to Sheriff's Patrol.
And I'm Dave Bristow. Coming up on Sheriff's Patrol, we'll update you on the Sabine Musil-Buehler case. And you'll hear from a former state trooper who infiltrated the mob. But first on Sheriff's Patrol, it was called Operation Green Shepherd. And this week-long undercover sting operation resulted in the arrest of more than 40 subjects. We get the details from Sheriff Patrol's Randy Warren.
Dave, they came to what they thought was the home of an underage boy or girl for one reason, and that was to have sex. What they didn't know was who was really waiting for them on the other side of that door. This was the scene over and over. For 1 week, dozens of detectives chatting online, some by telephone, posed as minors.
This is a tool that we can use to help identify these subjects that are preying on these kids, get them involved in our investigation, then subsequently arrest them and remove that predator off the street.
We're waiting on a suspect, about 50 years of age. We think, our intel people are telling us he's probably going to come in either a blue Impala or a white Toyota. He's walking up to the front door. All right, take down team, take down team.
We open the door and the suspect's immediately taken into custody.
In each case, the suspects came to the undercover location, believing they were meeting up with a juvenile for a sexual encounter.
Yep, we have a couple other guys that are supposed to be coming here this evening, and again, they'll be in for a very big surprise when that door opens.
Some came as far away as Naples and Polk County.
We've got a retired person, we have a mail clerk, we have a welder, we have lawn care, general manager, firefighter.
In all, 43 men were arrested.
Two of the most common was for use of a computer to seduce, solicit, entice a child to commit sex acts, and the other was travel to solicit, lure a child to commit sex acts.
Some of the defendants were also charged with transmission of materials harmful to minors by electronic device or equipment, lewd and lascivious molestation, attempted capital sexual battery, and possession of drugs.
Children are online all the time, whether they're teenagers or elementary school-age children. They get online. Sometimes they're more familiar with the internet than their parents are. It opens the door for more and more adults who prey on children to have access to kids through different chat rooms, websites, and so on.
We're checking a lot of websites, so those predators that are out there, just be advised, we're going to be in a lot of chat rooms and a lot of different websites, media websites. It's a very broad spectrum.
We often have people asking us, well, what can I do to protect my child? Internet monitoring software is one of the best things, and this is a free program. We call this one Computer Cop. Drop by our crime prevention section to pick up a free copy of it today. This program allows you to monitor exactly what your kids are looking at. Give us a call, 747-3011, extension 2500. In the meantime, the people who prey on these kids, they have been warned. The investigation continues, and it's worth giving credit to the agencies that helped us: FDLE, ICE, Bradenton Police Department, Sarasota, Polk, and Lee County Sheriff's Offices. Back to you.
Well, Randy, this was the brainchild of the Florida Sheriff's Association, these predators that prey on our children. And it first began in Citrus County, Polk County Sheriff's Office. They do them all the time. Sarasota County just finished one, and we figured we'd wait a few months and we'd do one. The message we want to send here is, this area of the state of Florida is not going to put up with this type of activity, and stay away from our kids.
And this won't be the last one we do either.
Oh, absolutely not.
Sheriff, it's been 4 years since the disappearance of Sabine Musil-Buehler, the co-owner of an Anna Maria Island hotel. Now the hard work of MSO detectives is paying off.
We picked up William Cumber at the Charlotte County Correctional Institute and transported him to our jail, where he has been charged with the murder of Sabine Musil-Buehler.
Very happy. It's incredible. I know that we're giving the family a huge sigh of relief that we had the person that did the crime against their loved one behind bars. It's a great accomplishment.
We want to do nothing more than solve these cases for the victims' families. It's that simple for us. So yeah, I think it's a good strike for us. I would hope that the public would glean from this that if a case that one of their loved ones is involved with that is unsolved, don't lose hope, because we don't lose hope.
We would not present it to the state attorney's office if we weren't 100% convinced that he killed Sabine. 100%.
Sheriff, no doubt about it, great work by our detectives in this case. And we'll be back with more Sheriff's Patrol right after this.
Thank you very much. I gave you my best. I hope it was good.
This career, if I'd have scripted it, if I'd have wrote it out, it wouldn't have been as good as the one I had.
If only everyone would take a moment to lock your car, we could drastically reduce vehicle burglaries.
G-morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
My little brother, he is 7 years old. He really looks up to me. He watches everything I do, and he wants to be just like me. The other day, I found out just how much. I don't know what I would do if something happened to him. I need him, and maybe even more, he needs me.
So, you want to be a part of a criminal street gang? You just might want to think about it. Joining a street gang is wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Every trip, every time, buckle up so you and your friends get home safely. Seatbelts save lives.
Okay.
Visit NHTSA.gov.
That is spectacular advice.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sheriff's Patrol with Manatee County Sheriff Brad Stubbe. I'm Dave Bristow. Well, Sheriff, the elections are behind us, and you were overwhelmingly elected for another term. Congratulations, and let's talk a little bit about what we have to look forward to in the next 4 years.
Well, Dave, thank you. You know, it's still important crime in our community, and although the past 5 years crime has been reduced, and this year it appears that we're going to have a double-digit reduction again in crime, it's not all about the numbers. For me, it's about whether or not you feel safe in your community to take a walk at night, to go to the mall, and those types of activities. So we're not done. We still have a lot of work to do. And then, of course, on my horizon, we've been fighting for this for 4 years, is more pay for our employees, because we're the lowest paid law enforcement agency out of the 14 in this area that we compare ourselves with. So I'll be going back to the county commission again next year trying to get more money for our folks.
Well, Sheriff, One person that you've worked with for the past 35 years is Colonel Chuck Hagman. Now, Colonel Hagman has served as our chief deputy since 2007. That's when Sheriff Stubbe was appointed as the sheriff. The colonel has decided to retire, and Randy Warren had a chance to catch up with him to do a little reminiscing.
Chuck Hagman started his career with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office in 1977.
Those are the days when we had 4 people going out south of the river, maybe 2 north. We had 6. You know, it's considerably different than it is now when I end my career. And, you know, I worked my way up through patrol and we did a little bit in narcotics, did a lot in CID, but my career was mostly anti-crime units. That's what I did. You know, that was what I loved. You know, we were out all night chasing the bad guy.
Oh!
You, have a seat.
That included his passion for anti-auto theft, weed and seed, programs like that really helped to define his career.
Oh, well, my passion was always the anti-crime units. I loved writing the grants and the programs, community policing, you know, all those programs that we wrote and executed, and you know, we were lucky enough to get the federal dollars to implement. Probably my favorite program was the Violent Crimes Task Force for the Middle District of Florida.
I didn't see nothing, man.
And then also I really enjoyed doing the gangs, you know, doing the racketeering. I kind of got that started, and with my teams, and we did a good job of cutting the gang activity in the county. You know, we're all quite proud of that.
And although he's proud to have climbed the ranks all the way to the #2 position of chief deputy, he feels his greatest accomplishment was creating a framework for bringing in the right deputies to fight crime.
The only thing really felt I was pretty good at was writing the plans, but those plans aren't worth anything if you don't have great people to execute them. And I was always very fortunate to have really good teams of men and women to execute those plans, and they had as much enthusiasm for them as I did.
I'll still be in the area. I'll still be.
Looking back, he says he wouldn't change a thing.
So, thank you very much. I gave you my best. I hope it was good enough.
This career, if I'd have scripted it, if I'd have wrote it out, it wouldn't have been as good as the one I had. You know, I had such a great time. I got to work with great people, got to do so many things, and I was so very fortunate that the sheriffs I had were willing to take a risk and do innovative programs. And that was the bottom line. I got a tremendous amount of opportunity here, which other people in their careers never got at other agencies because they weren't willing to do these innovative programs. And it's just been a blast. If I'd have wrote a script, like I said, it wouldn't have been better than the career I had.
Well, Dave, Chuck Hagman has been a mainstay here at the Sheriff's Office for all of these years, and I chose him as my chief deputy when I was appointed sheriff in 2007 because Chuck and I have had a close relationship for all of these years. We worked narcotics together, we were in patrol together, we did Violent Crimes Task Force together, we've done a lot together. So it's going to leave a hole in the agency, and as you know and others have been told, I'm not replacing him because of the budget constraints that we face. So for at least a year we're not going to have a chief deputy. But I can't wait, I just can't wait for the retirement party because I have some stuff.
Well, you know, the one thing I'll always remember about Chuck is how good he was at the statistics and going into an area and, okay, we've got burglaries here, we need to saturate this area, daytime, 9 to 12, whatever. He was a master at that.
He was phenomenal at looking at the stats, and he was also the one responsible over the years for receiving the extra deputies and the positions through the community-oriented policing grants. He's the one that spearheaded that, and he's the one that's really been pushing this crime down for a number of years.
You know, there's another longtime MSO employee who is stepping down, Deputy Dawn Stroup. Deputy Dawn has been a big help on Sheriff's Patrol with her crime prevention segments.
Hi, I'm Deputy Dawn Stroup, and I'm here to talk to you about the importance of Neighborhood Watch.
Nobody knows their neighborhood better than those that live there.
It's as plain as the nose on my face. Lock it or lose it. It's important to lock your home, your cars, and your bikes. Another major problem we have with vehicle burglaries is at convenience stores. In fact, this owner told me every day somebody leaves their car running while they go inside. That may be more than somebody burglarizing your car. That means that they could be stealing your car. Hey, what's in your grid? I know you've seen that commercial that has everybody running from their attacker. Well, Manatee County Sheriff's Office feels like everyone plays an important role for the safety of their community. One of the most effective and least costly is a neighborhood watch. Hi, I'm Deputy Dawn Straub, and today we're going to continue our series on securing our home through our windows. Enrolling in summer classes or getting a job is a great way to keep kids out of trouble and busy. Hey, it worked for me. Okay, you've done everything right. You've locked your cars, your windows are up, and you've even set the alarm. But you left your valuables visible. Take the extra second or so to open up your trunk and put your valuables in there. Unseen, untaken. ATVs, bikes, and golf carts are easy targets. Don't take a few minutes for granted, as these criminals are bold and anxious to take your property. So be smart and use good locks so they can't take your fun away. You know what's missing here on this solid door is a peephole, also known as a viewfinder. From the safety of your home, you can see who's out there. And if you don't know who's out there, don't answer that door. These awning windows are sometimes difficult to secure. So what we recommend is that you crank them shut real tight. Loosen the screw of the crank handle and then place the handle nearby so that you can open them in case of an emergency. One of the most important things to avoid road rage is not to offend. Don't tailgate, don't cut in and out of traffic. Avoid eye contact. Eye contact can seem like a challenge. And if you get into a situation, call 911. Properly store your guns. Consider using a trigger lock, cable lock, locked storage box, or maybe even a safe. Florida law requires that all loaded firearms be kept from the access of minors. You're the eyes and ears of the community. We depend on you to report suspicious activity. If you see something in progress, report it. Remember, be smart. Make the criminal work harder. I hope this information's been helpful to you. I'm Deputy Dawn Straub.
Well, again, I can't believe that Dawn is leaving. And you know, her position, and I can't even remember how many years, in crime prevention, she's the rock star. Yeah. You go to different mobile home communities, really anywhere in our community, and everybody knows Deputy Dawn. And she is going to be missed as well.
No doubt about it. Turning to news from the Sheriff's Office. Our deputies of the month are Lieutenant Bob Mealy and Deputy William McBride. Lieutenant Mealy was honored for disarming a suicidal man before he could turn the gun on himself. Deputy McBride rescued several people from a sinking boat during a violent thunderstorm in Terracea Bay. Our employees of the month are David Marsh, Robert Featherston, and Adrian Walls. In promotions, congratulations to our newest first-class deputies, Russell Jacobus, Adesh Ragunanan, and Richard Brissett. Turning to Special Teams Awards, Lieutenant John Morrell has served on the Honor Guard for 20 years, and Deputies Damon Ackerman, Cyril Naklinski, and Monty Staley have 15 years on the Honor Guard. In years of service at MSO, a long list of 25-year veterans. We begin with Captain Robert Williams, Sergeant Bobby Bowden, Sergeant Floyd Elms, Sergeant Vernon Everett, Sergeant Martha Nash, Detective Carol Perry Green, and Deputies Alan Brooks, Alan Fifield, Reginald Green, Jimmy Hobbs, and Jonita McCobb. With 35 years of service, congratulations to Colonel Chuck Hagman and Major Connie Shingledecker. Finally, retiring from the Sheriff's Office, we have Ernest Gavin and Deputy James Brinson. Sheriff, believe it or not, that was a combined 345 years of service.
It's amazing. At each one of our staff meetings, I look at when we're handing out the years of service, and I say to myself, this is the career that we chose, and these folks have stayed around all these years, and they're looking forward to retirement, like Chuck Hagman and Deputy Dawn.
No doubt about it. Hey, don't go away. We'll be back with more Sheriff's Patrol right after this.
Folks, post-traumatic stress is a human condition. It's not a mental illness. It's just that those who serve are in the higher risk group.
"30 seconds is not nearly enough time to show you the thousands of people who die in Florida each year from prescription drug abuse.
At NASCAR, we spend a lot of time and energy making sure racing is competitive and safe. We analyze every part of the race to gain an advantage, and we use the latest safety systems to protect ourselves. The most important safety device we have, you can use it too. The safety belt. Wearing a safety belt reduces the risk of serious injury or death in a collision by 50%. For yourself and your family, make sure everyone wears a safety belt. Every time, every trip. Hey, wait for me.
Car crashes occur every 12 seconds. 9 teens are killed each day, 3,500 each year. The nation's #1 teenage killer is car crashes. Teen Driver Challenge teaches young drivers about safety techniques, vehicle dynamics, and how to avoid accidents.
Register for the next Teen Driver Challenge by visiting our website, manateesheriff.com. Take the challenge and learn to drive like your life depends on it.
This holiday season, make time for the things that really matter, like family, friends, and the reason for the season. Let's all say no to violence and let there be peace on earth.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sheriff's Patrol. You know, law enforcement can be a very stressful job, and recently public safety employees from around Manatee County were invited to a program on post-traumatic stress. The presenter of the program, Bob Delaney, and he knows a thing or two about stress, having spent nearly 3 years undercover investigating the mob.
Folks, post-traumatic stress is a human condition. It's not a mental illness. It's just that those who serve are in the higher risk group. It happens after Haiti, it happens after Katrina. Folks that go through those experiences, civilians, experience post-traumatic stress. The most common cause of post-traumatic stress is an automobile accident. Yet, those who serve see what the rest of the world does not. So the groups that I work with are like yourselves. Firefighters, law enforcement, first responders, military, people that are serving. And what I find is, I used to say that cops need to talk to cops, firefighters the firefighters, soldiers the soldiers, combat spouses the combat spouses, combat moms and dads the combat moms and dads, because they're going through something similar. But what we're finding is when we bring cops and firefighters and first responders and soldiers, military personnel together, it's healthy.
Sheriff, you know, after Bob left law enforcement, he spent the next 25 years, believe it or not, as an NBA referee. So a lot of stress there too, making those calls.
Yeah, it was funny. You know, I met Bob a number of years ago, and we had the opportunity to talk. Of course, I worked undercover, nothing like what he did for 3 years infiltrating the mob. But what's interesting about him, usually when he talks about himself and he's introduced and people clap for him, he says, "I'm not used to that. I'm used to people booing for me." So, yeah, he's a great
career.
guy.
Yeah,
yep.
It really was.
Yep.
Okay, finally on Sheriff's Patrol, you know, we probably needed Bob making some calls to help our deputies in their recent Project Connect game. Project Connect is a way for deputies to interact with middle and high school students in the form of a basketball game. Take a look.
Project Connect is a basketball program that the resource officer started, and it was a way of the law enforcement and students getting together in a friendly game of basketball and bridging the gap. And I felt that was an important thing we needed to do in the schools in order to build a relationship, and thus far it's been successful.
I'm slapping all balls today. I'm letting you know right now. I'm swinging for the air. Swinging for the air.
These kids are very competitive. They want to win at all costs. From the kids, it's a competition thing for them. And for us, it builds a rapport within the unit also by us getting together on a level of basketball and also having fun. They see us as a law enforcement entity all the time, but it's a different thing to see us in uniform actually running up and down the court. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, these basketball games are a lot of fun. I used to play, and I will always remember Bob Mealy, Lieutenant Bob Mealy's daughter, playing at one of the middle schools, and how she now brags about posting up the sheriff. And she's now in college. So
she was a pretty good player.
She was. She was very good.
Okay, that'll do it for this edition of Sheriff's Patrol. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and of course at manateesheriff.org. For Sheriff Brad Stubbe, I'm Dave Bristow. So long, everyone.